Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Bullshit Games. Tonight it's the Merc,
The Lich Lord?
the only two of us here really,
Yeah.
and we're going to do a little bit of a beer in development. We didn't do one last month, so we're going to do one this month, kind of tell you guys what we have going on.
Some games we're playing, some movies we might be seeing, some books we're going to be
TV, we're
seeing,
watching.
and the beer we're drinking.
Yeah,
of course.
Delicious beer.
Yeah.
I guess that's one thing I think I'm just going to kind of throw out there right now. I don't know if people probably have noticed when watching our videos, we're not drinking beer so much in the other videos.
No.
I think we've kind of come to the conclusion that we're just going to save that for the beer in development.
Yeah. There were a few videos early on that actually turned out pretty well. That we were drinking quite a bit.
Yeah.
But then it's sort of like, well, let's just save those videos for this segment, and then...
I mean, don't get me wrong, we might do like liquor and beer reviews at some point down the road. But
and generally when we're playing games, we might have like one or two.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's part of gaming in the first place. You gotta have a couple beers.
It's part of gaming, and I think it's kind of part of learning whilst doing this YouTube thing of what we want to give you guys to watch, and what we don't want to have for you guys to watch.
Exactly.
Being serious and not being serious.
Right, exactly. I mean, there's some things like you don't want to be, drinking a bunch of beer in the middle of a book review, for example, or
trying to talk about a board game while you're sloshing,
or trying to set up a board game when you're
that
when
doesn't
you're
work well either.
No, especially if it's fantasy flight. That's never works
at all. Yeah. I guess the one thing to say here is pretty much next weekend classes start for both of us again. Which that's not going to interrupt, hopefully, our uploading and sharing schedule.
In fact, I think it'll be a good thing, because I know I'm going to have, not necessarily more time, but I'll have more time to myself. I mean, I work a full-time job right now. And sometimes we work very far away, and, I go to school right in the town I live, so I get home at a reasonable time, and I just have more time to do stuff like that. And I know you have a few things coming up. Well, that you're going to be doing while you're at school, which sounds really
actually, specifically, I plan on kind of running a new series. It's either going to be one video a week or two videos a week, and it's going to be the quest for gaming at college, which my freshman year, it took me until my second semester to find people to play D&D with, and this year I plan on kind of documenting my search to find people to play board games, role-playing games, card games with. Going to try to bring some of the people I meet and some of my friends on. I've already had one of my friends ask if they could do an interview, and I told them yes. I think it'll be fun to sit down and talk to him. You guys probably remember Mike, my roommate, who did the Dragon's Maze pre-release with us. I'm sure I'll have him on a few times over the year because we are roommates, and he has kind of the same geeky interests that I do.
I think it's a good idea, too, just because, I mean, it's difficult to find gamers in school. It's not necessarily something you just walk up to people and say, hey, do you play D&D? And, you got to find these people. You got to find out where they game and stuff like that, which, I mean, that's I think it's a really good idea. Maybe we'll help people in college find, people to game with. And,
my thoughts on that is I'm going to geek my dorm room door out this semester. I'm going to put the poster up for Bullshit Games. I might even put a sign on my door that says, people looking for D&D or board games or something, get a hold of me and we can set up a game.
I'm not sure how to go about starting a club at college.
I thought about that too.
I know where I go to school there's a Magic the Gathering club, which I'm actually kind of thinking about getting back into Magic. I don't know if I'm going to or not. It's like crack, man. Once you're on it, you can't get off.
Yeah, I'm addicted to plastic crack.
But, I mean, I know there's a Magic the Gathering club where I go to school, but I think there's a board game club, too. I'm not sure what types of board games, like it might be more Monopoly kind of stuff like that, but it might be interesting.
You might be surprised at what people that play Monopoly would be willing to try.
That's true, that's very true. And, I mean, Monopoly's a fun game, but, I mean, when you've played complex games from Fantasy Flight Games or whatever else, kind of leaves something warning when you play a game like Monopoly.
But I mean, if you could always try like a cooperative game to pull them in. But yeah, that's the new series. I think it's gonna expand our content that we bring to you a little bit. I had debated putting it on my private channel or putting it here, but I think it ties in well enough to everything we do here, and it's not going to take away from our other recordings that we do.
Yeah.
I'd say schedule, but we haven't actually knocked up a schedule yet. We're trying.
We have a makeshift schedule. We have like certain weeks we're going to do this, certain weeks we're going to do that. But generally, it's just kind of like, what do you want to talk about this week?
I mean, the book reviews kind of come on a pretty regular basis.
Yeah, if you haven't noticed, I try to do them every other week. So, but you'll be getting one of them this week coming up.
What's in the boxes? They kind of depend on when we get new stuff in. Like, I just got a bunch of. I got the Russians for Dystopian Wars, which they're awesome. I plan on doing a what's in the box for those. I got the Winter Guard Infantry plastic box set for Privateer Press. I'm going to do a what's in the box review of that and what I thought of that. I know in September, Hawk War Games is putting out the 2-player starter for Drop Zone Commander, which we've talked about maybe going in on that because we've wanted to play the game since it came out, but to buy into it wholesale, 2 people, a starter army is like, I think, close to $100. The rulebook is, I think, 20 or 30, so that's 115 bucks a person.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Whereas the starter set's like 80 bucks.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we can split it. We can get we can both get an army to start with and see if we like it, and then.
I mean, granted, the armies in the starter aren't exactly the armies I'm interested in.
Yeah.
But because I'd much rather have the post-Human Republic than the Colonials, but
yeah. Well, I guess at this point we should probably mention what we're drinking.
Yeah.
And we have tonight is Batch 19, which is pretty good beer. I like a lot.
Funnily enough, for me, this is a Coors product.
Yeah, I did not expect that when we first got it and we opened it up and you looked at the bottle. I was like, this is from Coors.
I initially had this beer at the bar, so I had it on draft, so I'd never seen the bottle. I didn't know it was a Coors brewing product. But I have to say, this is one of those Coors products that I do like it. It's supposed to be a pre-prohibition style beer.
Yep.
Which I think it's an interesting taste and it's good.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, I'm not exactly sure how to describe the taste. It's
sort of sweet.
It's sweet, a little bittery, not extremely hoppy, but there's a pretty good amount of hoppiness in it. But it's definitely good beer, and it's not extremely heavy. So
I would say there is a slight, almost like soapiness to it.
Yeah.
Not a bad soapiness.
Not like in a bad way, but I know what you mean.
But there's like a hint of like when you get out of the shower and you smell your soap on you, it's kind of like that. Which
I know what you mean.
I'm sure people out there are like, oh my god, why are they drinking that beer?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's good. You should check it out if you like. It's definitely not extremely strong.
Yeah,
it's somewhat heavy. So, I mean, if you drink light beer, you're not going to like it at all, probably. But if you like stuff like Sam Adams, for instance, kind of similar to that, and
it's labeled as an ale.
Yeah.
So there's that. I was looking to see if there was alcohol content, but I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't see it either.
So okay,
but it's pretty good.
It's good.
Check it out.
It's tasty.
I guess I can talk about the books. Some book reviews I'm going to have coming up. One thing I'm thinking about doing is kind of like a critical review of books. So I'll take, for instance, one thing I was thinking would be a good idea would be some of the books I did a recommendation for science fiction novels. And I think it'd be good to go back and review some of them and do kind of like a critical reading of something like that. I think that'd be a good idea. I started reading the second book in The Name of the Wind, or in the Kingkiller Chronicles, which is... the Wise Man's Fear, which is pretty good so far. I'm probably like 70 pages in. It's a little bit slower than the first one, but I'll talk about that at some point when I finally finish it. One thing that does happen with reading during the semester, I don't have close to as much time to read science fiction, fantasy, stuff like that. So I'm going to be reading a lot of stuff for school, but I'll still try to bring book reviews of stuff I've already read in the past every other week. So I mean, there will be one up this week. Week after that, there won't be any. Then another week after that, there should be another one up, and so forth. So that's what's coming up there.
I think at some point when I finish the book, if you would like a week off of book reviews,
definitely.
I've started. I'm like 600 pages into Yellow Eyes, which is John Ringo's, I think it's the 5th or 6th book in the Posleen War series. So I might talk about that at some point, and the series in general, because I really enjoy the series, and I'm going to tell people right now, compared to him, he reads heavy fantasy and some pretty heavy sci-fi.
Yeah.
My reading, I prefer military sci-fi. I don't really like fantasy. It takes a really amazing fantasy book to draw me in, because it's a lot of walking in fantasy, and that gets really boring.
Yeah.
But military sci-fi is usually what I read. So if I talk about a book, that's probably what it's going to be. Sometimes they range anywhere from, like, this could have been an action movie where you just kind of turn off your brain. You're like, wee, explosions.
Which, I mean, that's always good too.
Like Starship Troopers, where there's a lot of political undertones. And
and I really think we should do a joint discussion of that book when I finally finish reading it. Which, I mean, that's a relatively small book, so I should be able to finish.
I might actually go back and reread some of that.
This is a good book. I mean, it's one of the probably most argued upon science fiction books.
I think it's a highly misunderstood book.
Yeah. I mean, there's like 2 or 3 different readings people have.
I've heard people call Heinlein a fascist for writing that book, and I just don't see that. But
it's not fascist. It's many things, but it's not fascist.
I'm probably one of those people that when it comes to talks about fascism, communism, socialism,
you probably know a lot more than your average person about it.
It's what I've focused on in school. So when it comes to go ahead.
I was going to say, speaking of controversial science fiction, we're eventually going to see Elysium.
Probably next week, actually.
Probably next week. We were thinking about going tonight, but the second week it's been out, so we're probably gonna wait till next week or so. And
we have 45 points of War Machine sitting on the other side of the table, which we're gonna trounce each other in that, and then go to the bar. Yeah. Because we haven't been to the bar together in probably a month.
Yeah. But that's definitely a movie that's very politically charged, got a lot of controversy surrounding it.
Well, the whole kind of key premise to that is technically class warfare.
Yeah. I mean, the rich live on Elysium, which is in outer space, is a orbital space station, and pretty much people on Earth are wage slaves. And I mean, obviously we haven't seen the movie yet. But that seems like the basic premises of the movie. So
because our channel is not a politics channel. We're a gaming humor news channel. I won't get too much into parallels between that and the real world and things, but you can draw parallels between
definitely
what that movie is talking about and the real world. Yeah. But we won't get into that.
This is a gaming channel, so we're
here to have fun and roll dice and be silly and
exactly. We try to avoid politics. Sometimes you're going to get it, but we're not like overtly like in your face.
Yeah, we're not going to drive it down your throat.
No. We'll give you a objective view on the movie.
Yeah. I'm gonna look at it from the previews. I want to see the robots. I want to see how much, because those robots look cool. They look like they're well done with CGI.
Yeah.
But I want to see if there's any practical effects with the robots that ties in with the CGI.
Yeah. Which, I mean, the director, which I think his name is something Blomkamp, I think. He did District 9.
He did District 9.
And I really like District 9. I don't know. Did you like District 9?
I like District 9, yeah.
Which, I mean, that movie's very politically charged, too. It's basically about apartheid.
Yeah.
District 9 takes place in South Africa.
It took me a little bit into the movie to really start to appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning I was like, well, it's in Johannesburg. It's kind of detached. But I liked it after I watched
definitely.
it.
I think one of the things that I thought was unique about that movie is it's such a small budget. It was only like $30 million they spent on that movie.
But some of the effects, like the weapons and stuff,
they did a great
were
job.
Amazing.
The weapons in that movie reminded me of Doom. Not necessarily Doom, but Quake. Where they just shoot stuff and it just blow to pieces. And it was pretty cool. I'm hoping there's going to be some stuff like that in Elysium too. But it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
We shall see.
I am probably at some point next week, if it's still in theaters, going to go see Red 2. Yeah. We'll talk to you guys about that. Just because... it's John Malkovich, it's Bruce Willis, it's a bunch of good actors. I saw the first one, it was funny. This one, probably going to be the same thing. If I get the chance, I'd like to go see Two Guns as well.
Yeah, it looks alright.
I like Denzel Washington. Mark Wahlberg is alright. And it looks like there's just some funny moments in it, so, you know.
And it really looks like one of those movies that just might be just an action movie. It's not supposed to be anything important. Just watch some explosions for a little bit. And
part of me wants to see The Butler.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing
but
that. I always think movies like that.
I don't like Oprah. That's right, Internet. I don't like Oprah.
I don't even know where I stand on Oprah.
Let me put on my flame retardant suit.
I don't know. Most gamers probably agree with you.
Probably, yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't necessarily have anything against Oprah.
I don't know. It's just
I don't watch her.
I think it's because she's so talked up that I don't particularly care for her.
But I think that movies
that was way off in left field.
And now here's something completely different.
Hey, somebody go get the ball and bring it back to the court so we can continue the game.
But I think movies like that are almost, you're better off waiting, because you know that's going to be on like Showtime or
that's
HBO
a movie,
or something
that's a movie that if you watch on your regular TV, it won't.
Right. It's not like
you won't lose anything.
It's not like you're missing a giant experience.
Not like Pacific Rim that you missed out on the awesome experience that was seeing it in theaters.
I'm
shaming you right now. I'm shaming you on the internet.
I don't think I'll ever forgive myself for missing that movie. I'm a Godzilla fan. And I like monster movies. And I can't believe I missed that. I was working far away. That's right. I'll blame it on work. It's always work's fault. But yeah, I'm definitely disappointed I didn't.
Another movie I will probably talk to you guys about when it comes out. I'm going to watch it just because I am a junkie for made-for-sci-fi movies. Ghost Shark. How can I say no? It's a story about a killer ghost shark.
Right, I'm going to pose a question to you guys right now. Did you watch Sharknado? And if you did, what did you think of that movie? I know you saw it.
I did.
I didn't see it.
I did.
I'm sure it'll be on about 100 more times on Sci-Fi.
I will say this. There were some scenes of like devastation, like it's in California, I believe. And there's a Ferris wheel on the pier down there in California. And there's this awesome scene where it comes loose and like rolls down the street and slams into a building. I kind of think they blew the entire movie's budget CGI right there.
Most likely.
Because it was an amazing scene. It looked like it should have been in a blockbuster movie about the apocalypse.
Yeah. Was it the typical like sci-fi CGI though, where you'll have like a guy standing here with his arm out and the arm's gone like 5 minutes before the monster eats it?
There wasn't really a lot of that.
Really?
There was just like people disappearing. Like, oh, the shark got him.
Oh, look, shark eats.
The shark got him. Yeah.
From what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong,
yeah.
the basic story is the tornado at sea, many tornadoes at sea, and sharks go into the air, and they eat people as they're falling to the ground. But
they also get into the sewers and the storm drains.
Okay.
And it's ridiculous, but it's good ridiculous.
You guys don't realize we could do a whole video devoted to sci-fi movies because we used to hang out when we were in high school, like every Saturday and Friday night when they were on.
9 o'clock made for sci-fi movies on Saturdays. Yep. That was our thing. We'd get together and
there were some that were pretty good. I always kind of liked Dagon. I got to be honest.
Dog Soldiers.
Dog Soldiers is cool.
Sci-fi got me on Dog Soldiers. It's one of the best werewolf movies I've ever seen.
The first couple Carnosaurs were kind of cool. I think that's what it's called. It's basically like it's kind of like Jurassic Park, only 10 times worse.
Yeah, the first one's actually kind of like squirmy. Ooh, that's bad. But
there were a couple horror movies there, like Monster Man. I thought that was kind of entertaining.
Like don't get me wrong. Like sometimes Sci-Fi puts out a movie that's it's low budget but you're sitting there and you're like, that was better than some horror movies that have been in theaters.
And other times it's like,
and you get movies like Rottweiler
and like Species 10.
Yeah,
it's like I know the basic plot of Species and I've seen it 9 times already.
The first Species movie was I didn't even really see the first Species movie.
It was a while ago, but it is alright.
Yeah. There's a lot of alien sex in that, wasn't there?
Yeah, like
kind of the whole premise of the movie.
Alien creature that's female.
Yeah, and
it kills the men that it sleeps with. Yeah,
we have gone way off track here.
Yeah.
Well, since we're talking about movies and things, eventually we might talk a little bit about TV series that we watch and we like. The Walking Dead is on that list. However,
I got some catching up.
I have a lot of bugbears with that show because I've read the first 4 compilation books of the comic. And after like the first 2 episodes of season 1, it was like, pew! What do you mean you wrote a graphic novel? We didn't see this.
Yeah, I could go on like a 20-minute rant on how movie or TV show producers have great source material they can go off, and then they completely ruin it by. And I'm not saying The Walking Dead ruined it. I'm not saying that. But there have been a lot of TV shows such as Sword of Truth where they had just books. They had like 10 books of source material. In the first season of the show, just right off. I could talk about that for hours, but I'm not going to.
But yeah, that's another thing we might do, and that'll just go into like movie reviews, but we'll be talking about a TV series. Personally, probably within a month or a month and a half, maybe 2 months, so maybe October. Maybe for Halloween I might break it out. I've started work again on The Darkest Day.
Yeah. Okay.
I've kind of revisioned it. The game is not going to be one player plays survivors, one player plays against zombies.
Okay.
It's going to be both players play a crew of survivors.
All right, that'd be cool.
And zombies might actually just be a like environmental hazard.
Right. Okay.
So in October,
so it'd be more like players.
Zombies move randomly towards noise. So in October, we will probably have our nice camera.
Yeah.
And might do a battle report of that when it's up. Just,
And, well, you've said this a million times. We are eventually going to get a camera.
Yes.
And then we're going to have some battle reports up, and we're going to have some board game reports, stuff like that. So.
And I have actually, I've never done it before, but I am now working very, very hard to get models painted. The majority of my K-Door for War Machine is undercoated. 2 of my jacks are painted. 1 is finished. 1 is almost finished. My Nomads are undercoated for Infinity. And this weekend, or next week, my Dystopian Wars fleets will be undercoated and awaiting paint. So, I will have painted models for battle reports.
I have some undercoat. I have some stuff that's undercoated, and I got to work on that. So, but yeah, and also I didn't get a chance to say exactly what I thought of Infinity, and I just quickly I thought it was a great game. I thought it was really awesome, and yeah, we're gonna have to play that again pretty soon. Yeah. We didn't play with any of the leadership models. We just played with
if you take
3 regulars.
If you take next week off, like you were talking about, we can get together a game a few times.
Which I may do that.
But kind of the one thing, we've talked about some of the things we have coming up and things like that. I kind of wanted to bring to your attention, and I kind of wanted to do this on YouTube, on air. We've been at this for 3.5 months. Mm-hmm. We have over 30 videos, I think close to 32 or 33. We have 23 subscribers, which I think for a small channel, for 2 guys running with a webcam out of their unfinished gaming shed, I think 23 subscribers is pretty amazing. Yeah. We have we're starting to push 1,500 views on the channel. Yep. We have very negative feedback. So to me, that means
you mean positive.
No, we have very few negatives.
Oh yeah, very few.
Very low negative feedback.
Yeah, I think
which to me means the people out there watching us are like what we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, in total, I think we've only had like 2 dislikes.
2 or 3.
Yeah. So I mean,
the other thing that I really appreciate is everybody that's watched and has left comments.
Yeah, it's great.
It's always civil comments. It's always a good discussion or things like that.
And we take your feedback in and we consider it. And if you would ever like to see something, either something more or something different, or I mean, obviously, what we have coming up. Some things we're going to be doing different when we get a camera and things like that. But we always appreciate any type of comment, even if it's critical criticism. Obviously, don't be rude about it if you can help it. But I mean, it's the internet, so we expect that.
Yeah.
We're kind of. I mean, I've been surprised that we haven't gotten that at all yet, which is really cool. It kind of tells you something about gamers as a whole. I think that you're kind of dealing with a pretty civil crowd.
Yeah. The thing I really like is with the subscribers that we get, I always try to subscribe back to anybody that subscribes to the channel. I just think it's decency. You subscribe to us, I'll subscribe to you. But through some of our subscribers, I have found new people to watch. Yeah. And they've introduced me to new games and things of that. Like, we're subscribed to Heretic of You's channel. I hope I pronounced that right. And he subscribed to another fellow who did a how to play of tomahawks and muskets.
Yeah.
And that, to me, it sold the game. If I could find the rules to buy it, I'd buy them like that, because watching that how to play, the game looks really awesome.
Yeah.
And I just think, I don't know, it's kind of ending the video, so to speak. I just think it's really neat that we decided to give this a shot.
Yeah.
We've been at it for 3.5 months, and we're going to keep going.
Yeah. As long as we're going to do this as long as we can do it. So.
In November, we're going to be at the Worcester weekend.
Yes.
We're going to be playing games. At least I was thinking about trying to get a table and run a game down there, but with my schedule right now, I don't know if I can.
Yeah.
That might be next year.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to run a game at a table. I think that would be awesome.
That'd be awesome. Especially
if we have like enough Dystopian Wars stuff to run like a big naval battle. That'd be pretty awesome.
And I think, and like you said too, if we do decide to go to New Jersey Con again, I think it'd be great to take Dystopian Legions or Dystopian Wars down there.
I think
play a game.
I think a Dystopian Wars big naval game would go over really well down there. I think the guys would like that.
Yeah. Definitely.
Historicon and Fallen. I keep hearing talk that they're going to come back to Lancaster, so we're going to try to get to that.
Possibly.
If it comes back to Lancaster. Yeah. Right now, it's in Virginia.
Or no, it's in Fredericksburg.
Yeah, it's in
Fredericksburg. Is like 6 or 7 hours away.
It's too far away for us to go for the day.
We used to have a friend that lived down there, and it wouldn't have been too bad to like stay at his place and then go to the go to the con. But it's just too far. Mm-hmm. I mean, cons are great. If it was like, I like Historicon, but I don't know. It's just not quite big enough of a con.
If I'm going to travel a good distance, like I wish I would have known Gen Con was this weekend, because I would have went to Gen Con.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I would have taken the weekend off of work and I would have went to Gen Con because it's like kind of the mecca of gamers.
Yeah. And one of these years, I really want to go to San Diego Comic Con. Just
I'd love to go to Comic Con.
Awesome. Yeah. And I think we actually have a couple subscribers that went there. And we're subscribed to them also, and I saw some of the videos they put up.
Yeah,
it was
Ebonstar, yeah.
And it's just.
I didn't actually know Comic Con had like gaming. Yeah, but it does, so that would be cool.
Gaming, comics, TV shows, movies. It's pretty much the mecca of nerdy.
E3 wouldn't be too bad to go to at some point, cool. But it's not really for what we do.
I always heard that E3 is more of an industry thing.
Yeah.
Compared to, I think like PAX would be a better.
PAX would probably be more fun
to go to for that. But I mean, E3 would be cool. But
what's the other one? It's not Gen Con. It's Indie.
Oh, I'm not sure.
I don't know. It's another gaming convention. Yeah. Origins.
Yeah. Yep.
I'd like to go to Origins at some point too.
And I know there's a gaming convention that's like in the Midwest. It's pretty big. Mm-hmm. I forget what it's called.
And I know there's a couple gaming conventions in like Tennessee.
Yeah.
And the conventions we go to, when we'll have our camera, we'll bring you guys coverage and footage of being there. Any games we play in, we'll do videos of. Maybe even get interviews with some people in the industry. But we're almost the half-hour mark, and I just kind of want to end the video with saying thank you to the people that have subscribed to us and have left likes and comments and things like that. There's a kind of key group that I've noticed that comment on our videos, like Ebonstar, Chaucer, Heretic of You. Yeah. You guys, you let us know what you're thinking. You give us feedback, and we take it in. We appreciate it.
It's always well appreciated.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And we're gonna keep doing this for
as long as we can.
As long as we can. As long
as we're both in, even if we're not in the same area, we'll probably probably do it differently, but we'll do something.
You won't get many more of these if we move out of the same area, but you'll still get videos because it's fun. I kind of talked into my beer like a microphone there.
But yeah, I think that's about it for this episode. And, hopefully we'll see you guys next time. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment. We just talked about comments for a pretty long time, so we read your comments.
Yeah, we do
regularly. So
it's fun responding to comments. Actually, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
We always like thumbs up. Thumbs up make us feel good. The only thing that makes us feel better is a subscribe.
Oh yeah.
This is just like shameless begging. We always do this at the end of these videos. We do. It's like, let's shamelessly beg for subscriptions and comments and likes. But yeah, if you guys like what we're doing here, if you're looking forward to anything we have talked about coming up, if you have any suggestions, if you have any comments on Sharknado or other made-for-sci-fi movies.
Sci-fi. You know we're going to have to do a video on that.
We are. We're going to have to do a video on made-for-sci-fi movies. When Ghost Shark comes out, I'll do a video on Ghost Shark.
Okay.
Like
Sounds
that.
good.
It'll be great. It'll be awesome. But,
okay. We'll talk about it later, but I just had a great idea.
But, yeah, we're going to go. Like I said, we have 45 points of War Machine set up on the other end of the table. And it's going to be Kador versus Crix. We might talk about that at some point next week. Because I don't know. We play like 3 main game systems here, and I don't think we've given War Machine much love.
Yeah, no, we haven't, and we both love War Machine.
I love War Machine. But now we're rambling.
Yes, we are. It's time to end this
video. We're going down fast. So what we're going to do is we're going to end the video, and we're going to say thank you for watching. And, like we said, if you like what we're doing here, leave us a comment or a like. We'll see you next time on Bullshit Games.